Hello, hello. Well, trying to switch scenes here. Let me stop this music. I can't see what's going on here. Okay, music stopped. Um, I am not sure why the scenes aren't switching now. Ah, there we go. Let's see here. Did I? Oh, what's going on here? Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Hey, everybody. Still getting used to the streaming program here. Apparently, I was in studio mode, and when I thought I was switching scenes, it wasn't actually switching. How's everybody doing this evening? I see there's a couple of live viewers here. Um, say something in the chat. See what's going on. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Um, as the title of the video says, here for episode 5, um, gonna try a little I guess kind of experiment here in design. So let's see, I have a few things to show you. Where here? Hang on. Right here. Okay. So I have this old Windows phone. It's running Windows Phone 7, which is not only an obsolete operating system at this point, but like the store doesn't even exist. I can't install new apps on it. I can't get any operating system updates. Um, Basically whatever apps I have on it, supposing their backing APIs even still work. Um, that's really all I've got going on. So um, this up. Oh, I gotta put in my pin. So open this up. There are some apps installed, a few games and things, but what's most interesting to me is two things. One, hey Wesley, how's it going? Wesley's watching tonight. So the two things that are really interesting to me on this phone is one, it has this very large display, and two, it has a really high megapixel camera on the back. So what I'm thinking is, fire up the camera app. You know, there I am. That's kind of cool. Picture in picture. It's even doing weird stuff to the green screen. Um, I also have. Let me show you this. Um, so I have these. I don't really know what to call them. They're kind of like jeweler's goggles, I guess. They have LED light on the side. Um, when they go on, it's got these pieces that flip down, and it has these lenses in them, and the lenses come out, and they're pretty neat. Up here, you can kind of see. I mean, this particular one is a 25x. The focal point on it is, or the focus point, I guess, is really really close to the lens. Hey Tiger, how you doing? Um, so wow, that was a really loud noise. I don't know what that was. Um, and I don't know if you guys. Oh, there in the corner, you saw the little zombie. Inadequate seating just subscribed. Thanks, Wesley. So these lenses, they have a really close focal point on them, and uh, I don't know if you've seen them in movies or TV shows or whatever, or at an actual jewelry store. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen them at an actual jewelry store, but a lot of times they'll use them. They're looking at the gems or whatever, and the blood diamonds, depending on the story, I guess, in the movie. Um, so I had an idea. And those glasses came with a couple of different lenses. There's 10x zoom, 15x zoom, 20x zoom, and 25 times zoom. So I was thinking if I took one of these lenses, here is the 10x zoom, and I have, whoa, um, lights on the phone. I have this old phone with a giant screen and a fancy camera. If I could somehow affix the lens over the camera, now I could get some really interesting pictures. My nephew has a uh, project for school. He's collecting a bunch of different bugs. You look at them up close and actually, not have to use a microscope or just a digital zoom, but have an actual, large screen surface area. Or looking at electronics or, whatever, that kind of fun stuff. So with this, oops, I hit the flash again. Sorry. I just took my own picture. So with this on here, and I'll turn this around and let you see, maybe. Hit the flash again. So I know that's going to be really difficult, but you can see how much it's zoomed in there. And it's bright enough in here that I think you're seeing the reflection. Let's see, move that around a little bit. See if I can get it. Yep, pretty close. So that's a pretty big zoom there. That's just with the 10x, and it's not really in focus because to get the focus, you have to be like right up on it. That's getting kind of creepy. But so anyway, on a desk, it could sit. You got the nice view and have the lens here, and it make a nice sort of uh, digital magnifying glass, I guess, with interchangeable lenses for different um, distances, different levels, factors of magnification. But I don't really have a case that would work like that. I mean, these are specifically made to clip into those goggles, and this is a really big phone, which was the benefit for using it for this project. So what I want to do, let that charge. I want to design a stand that will hold the phone at a specific angle, allow for charging from below, and allow the lenses to be interchangeable from the stand on the back of the phone, so it's all lined up nicely. So, excuse me, I need a drink there. Um, the steps I'm going to go through to do this, which will hopefully work out. I've got a couple of design ideas. Going to work through a few things. If Tiger or Wesley or anybody else that shows up while we're going on here has any ideas, or if you're watching this later, I'm gonna leave some comments. Let me know what you think about some ideas. Maybe we can incorporate a couple different things. So to start this off, though, I'm gonna draw it out on paper, then attempt to model it in 3D, then hopefully 3D print it. Now, I don't want to make this like a super long video. Um, at most, I'll probably go 2 hours, and then once it's done, I may actually chop it up into. If I mean, 2 hours, I think, is pretty ambitious for creating a design and modeling a design. I know it's not going to print in 2 hours, but even though 3D printing is fascinating, it's after a while it gets kind of boring to just sit there and watch it, move back and forth. But I think what I'll probably end up doing is clipping this into um, at least 2 videos in the end. And once it's done 3D printing, I'll do another video sometime this weekend or whatever, putting it together and setting it up to test it out. And then we'll see if it works. But that's quite a ways from now. So to start, I'm going to draw out a design. I'm not necessarily set up very well here to some drawing. Let's see. Oh, Tiger says he has ideas. Oh, I'm sure. Tiger has done a lot of 3D printing and CNC design stuff. I'm sure you've got lots of great ideas. Let's see if I move my keyboard out of the way. Trying to make some room here. I've got too much on my desk, too much going on. Oh, okay. Let me get the notepad down here. And let me see if I can adjust the camera around. There. Ah, that might work. And I can make it bigger on the screen as well, I think. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Nice. So let me know in the comments if this is... Oops, this direction. And this way, yep. So, I... Okay, well that's going to be upside down, of course, because I'm writing and the phone is that way. Let me see if I can flip the image. So it will be right side up for you. I go into properties, maybe. And, oh no, I know what I can do. So as this is Jeremy Makes Stuff, everything is live and raw. Hey, there we go. Now it's still mirrored, and there we go. Hi there. Nice. Is that all good, everybody? Have you made the dragon egg? Tiger asks, have you made the dragon egg that screws together? I haven't. I've seen the one that you made, and I have a few ideas involving some screwing mechanisms. So first of all, I'm going to take some measurements. So I've got the trusty calipers here, and the phone, because obviously we want to make sure that the phone's going to fit on the stand. So this phone is, let's see, I can do it here. There. That is, I don't want inches, I want millimeters. 90 millimeters wide. 90 meters. And I think it's longer than my calipers can go. Oops, and they reset. Zero that back out. All right. The maximum on my calipers is 153. Actually, I don't need to know the height of the phone. I just need to know how high it is up to the camera. So the center of the camera, that's about center right there, is at 124.6. Hey, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's joining us here. 124.6 millimeters. I'll probably just round up to 125. We'll see how that works out. The actual camera, I don't know why I'm using the word actual a lot. That's kind of weird. Let's see here, though. The camera. 18.25. It's 18.25 millimeters. All right. So those are the dimensions we have to work with. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of my idea here and get some feedback. And I'm sure together we can all come up with something great. So what I'm thinking is something that will be in two parts. A base, so some kind of a base piece that comes up at an angle, like so, and has a hole in it. This would just be, side view. From the front, at the base like so, and as it comes up, I have these gaps to give a hinge. And the second piece Let's see. Oh, and right along here somewhere would be where the base of the phone goes, on a little ledge with some kind of a hole here in the bottom, so the charging wire can come through and go off to plug in wherever. Some kind of a hole here. Then as a second piece, that would come off of here, however high it needs to be. And again, same kind of thing. The opposite, the hinge there, that is a horrible size square fitting in that hole. And these would be threaded holes so that could have some kind of a uh, screwed piece that goes all the way through. That's terribly off the drawing, with a nut on the other side. So could loosen it, adjust the angle to whatever desired angle to whatever I'm trying to look at, and then tighten the nut back on. The So for example, these are the filament spool holders for the 3D printer. So suppose this slides into the two hinge pieces, and on one side there's a nut, so which happens to be the color of the green screen. Let's see, I've got another one, got a black one here. So it would screw into the nut on that side, and it's got the other piece here, and it would, hold the hinge pieces together, loosen it up, could adjust, then tighten it back so that it's at whatever angle I need. Now the upper piece. So let me do a better. That wasn't better. Drawing here the upper piece. Let's see. The center of the camera is at 124.6. No, yeah, 124.6 millimeters. So that's got to be somewhere around here, and it's 18.25 millimeters circle. And that would need, so the lenses, where'd the lens go again? The way these lenses actually snap into the goggles, I'm not sure if you can see this. There's a notch. Oops, where are we? Focus, focus. There, okay. You can kind of see this little notch right here. And there's another one here on the outside. That's just showing where it is on the inside. The, let's see, maybe you can better see here. Anyway, there's a notch right here. So the back side of this, it's a circle, the notch. So on the goggles, this snaps in, and then you rotate it, and there's like a not sure how to draw that. There's a void, right, where this piece slides in, slides back, and then as you rotate, it goes behind the piece so that it's locked in, so it's not going to fall out. So I can actually demonstrate that. I'm going to take these out. So, okay. So here's the goggle piece, and here's the lens. It has to go in at a certain spot. I think it was here. Yep. So if it just sits there, it can fall right out. When it goes in, it gets a little bit of a turn. Now it's locked in because of that notch. So hopefully that makes sense. So I have to turn it back and it'll come out. Put it in, turn it, and it snaps in, so it doesn't fall. So want to emulate that same connection on this back piece. So that's kind of my general idea. I know, like I said, I'm sure, Tiger, you've got lots of ideas. Wesley, Jeffrey, if anybody have any other ideas here, feel free, toss them out. Let's see, so this is 90 millimeters for the phone, so you want to go, it doesn't have to be the full width of the phone either. Like, it could just come out here and go up to the notch, or to the camera. So that would need this. That would be less filament. Um, I'm not even 100% sold on having the hinge here yet either. I'm not sure if that's really going to make that much of a difference, because if the phone is sitting at whatever angle it's sitting at, I'm not sure adjusting it too much. I mean, you could fine tune the adjustment, right, to get the angle towards the face better. So there's my reflection. Yeah, so you get it to the angle, whatever you need. So that's, I think, yeah, I think I like that. Um, hopefully that'll actually tighten down. So let's see. Does anybody have any feedback on that little design there? Quick and rough. I know that I can do the screw piece. You know, we've got the, oh, that's the color of the background. Sorry, the green screen. We've got the threads here, as well as the opposite of that. So that's pretty possible. Hey, Jody. Jody's joining us here. How's it going, buddy? Um, Working out a little design here. Gonna try and model it in 3D and hopefully print it. Um, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. So 2 pieces, a base piece. Well, I guess 4 pieces. A base piece, a top piece, the screw piece, and then the nut. And I definitely think. See what Tiger asked. What distance does the eyepiece work best for the camera? Up against or some distance? The closer the better. Because like if I put this up here to the camera, you lose focus on. Oops. If I can put it up to the camera, you lose focus on the things that are further away because you know it's got to be really up close to get focus. So I'm imagining setting this up and having like tweezers or something. Um, Jeffrey says, "What I was thinking instead of making the hole started 3D start. What I was thinking instead of making the hole started 3D printing nut on the right, the left side with a bolt, maybe some fly nut." Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm just going to make it out of plastic. So the whole thing is 3D printed, all the pieces to it. Because I have a lot of filament and don't want to spend any money, even like 10 cents at the hardware store for a fly nut or whatever. But yeah, that's it exactly. Um, that's exactly what I drew here. um, Tiger says strange silence. I am speaking. I'm not sure if something went wrong, and I see the stuff moving on the mixer here. Is there still silence? Can you hear me? Let's see. Someone answers. And I know there's a delay, so I'm not sure how much of a delay there is. Um, could be like 10 seconds, could be 5 seconds, could be like 30 seconds. I don't think it's 30 seconds. Um, oh, Jody says he can still hear me. Tiger, I'm not sure what you mean by strange silence. So I guess we'll just keep going. Okay, so I guess that's kind of it. Jody, do you have any comments, concerns, critiques with the little design here? The idea is to take this old Windows Phone 7, 45-second delay. Take this Windows Phone 7. It has a very large display and a really nice camera. Have it set in a stand and use these lenses that I have to sort of make like a digital magnifying glass, digital microscope kind of thing. So just working on a little design here. Took some measurements. Kind of got an idea going here. Open to ideas. 45-second delay. It's longer than I expect. So I am going to open the internet. And whoops. I'm actually going to be using an application website called Tinkercad, which I will put up here on my screen, and I will adjust the camera. Jody says, looks awesome. Jeremy makes stuff is the best. Microscope for science stuff. For science stuff, I mean, what other stuff is there? Everything is science. Everything is math, too, I guess. I don't know. Let me see. Let me shrink this back down. And I think I will put myself over here in the left corner. And let me readjust the camera. Hello, everybody. Oh, yep. And I've got to flip myself back over because I was facing the paper, which was upside down and backwards. 1 second. Let's see. Flip that. Rotate, rotate. Hey, I'm back. And I'm in 3D. Kind of. I mean, everything's in 3D, right? Okay. That's it. So, I have a new window open here in Tinkercad. I got one of their weird default names. Tiger says he had to refresh. Sorry, Tiger. I don't know what happened to the audio. I don't know. Let's see. I got one of the weird Tinkercad made up names. Tremendous Cassie? Cassie? I don't know. I'm going to call this phone holder magnifier thingy. And I need to move my keyboard closer. There we go. Okay. Sure. Adjust back to decent point. Space with the camera. All right. My shadow is a lot darker this evening too. Ooh, almost dropped my Wi-Fi adapter into my water cup. That would have been bad. Okay, so let's see. So to get started with this, I'm going to start with the base. Now, I'm partial to a square base. I have a PCB holder that I think this might work well with as well. You know, have the PCB holder holding a PCB and having the camera then facing on it. It has a square base. I thought about giving this a circular base because it would look cool, but I think form over function on or function over form on lining up the bases for now. Let's see. The other thing I'm not sure about is the weight of this phone. Since it's so big, it's pretty heavy. So I'm gonna have to make sure that the base is good enough that it's not just gonna tip over, just sitting there. That's gonna have to go for the screw to tighten it up as well. Um, but I can also end up, you know, clamping it to the table or something too if it doesn't work out. But so for now, let's see. I need to drop a ruler on here so that I can just use the numbers. And so I think Good thickness for the base will be, see, that is 5 millimeters. That's a pretty serious base. That'll be good. 5 millimeters thick. And again, we've got some live viewers here. If anybody has any comments, concerns, critiques, feel free to tell me what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right. That's fine too. So the phone itself is 90 millimeters wide. And I think the base at minimum needs to match. So I'm going to go ahead and do 100 millimeters. And let's see how far. So if it's sitting here and it's going to adjust around here. And obviously it's not going to lean back, right? Because then it's just going to fall off. But if it's going to lean forward, potentially that far, which is a pretty good distance from where it was. See, Tiger says 10 millimeters, but lots of holes in it. Do you mean holes in the base so that it could be like screwed down, or do you mean with a smaller infill percentage? What do you mean by lots of holes in it, Tiger? So this distance here is, what is that, like 3 inches or so? Or 4 maybe, maybe a little less. So I think I want it to come back a little bit further too. So if I have to put a weight on it, there's some space there to put a weight on it. And millimeters is about there. Let's go 120. We'll see. I'm not set on that yet. Let's see. Oh, Jody says that Tiger wants to shoot holes into the Windows Phone. Well, I'm not so sure I'm down with that. Oh, Tiger says less plastic. Yeah, it's a good idea. I could come through and put some holes in it, so it would use less plastic. I'm not gonna do that just yet, though. Maybe like a couple of strips. You're right. Oops. Square. That way it has support. Let's see. Jeffrey says, "What if you're doing a tripod base with adjustment up and down? That way it has support." Um, Tripod base. Well, the problem with the tripod base, I think. Oh, that might work too. Um, the tripod base, it's not going to be easy to weight it though if I end up not having it heavy enough. Um, so because like right now, if it's not heavy enough, I can always drop a weight on it, and now it's going to hold it from tipping forward. But if it's a tripod base, I'd have to wrap it or something to hold on like that. Because this plastic, it's not, we're not going to go super thick with it because it's going to use up a lot of the plastic. But also, it's not very heavy as it is. Yeah, Tiger's talking about the 3D printing, the putting some holes in it, making it Swiss cheese style. So I'll get back to that. Whoops, didn't mean to. Come on, there we go. I'll get back to adding some holes to it later. Get the general layout and take a look at it and see what it looks like first. Um, so I think, let's see, this was 5 millimeters. I'm just going to copy and paste that, drag it up a little bit, and let's see. So 124.6 millimeters to the center of the camera. I want to go above the camera. So I'll go 140. And then 3D modeler, it's uh, using up a lot of the RAM. Got some low frame rates here. See if I can make this a little bit smaller, if that'll be better on the frame rate. Come on, grab the corner. Oh, maybe. Yep. Okay. That's a little better frame rate, I think. Okay, yeah, I'm 15 frames now. It's better than nothing. See, how do I hide this shape panel? There we go. Okay, so it doesn't need to be as wide because it's 90 millimeters wide. Put in maybe a third of that, or to a third of that. So 30 millimeters, and highlight both of them and align them here. Okay, and I'm gonna bring this guy up. Sometimes it is difficult to find that arrow sometimes in the browser window. And take this around. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong piece actually. This would be the second piece. It's not part of the base. That. So the base. Let's see this side. Yep. The base here needs to come up and have the little stand, and then the angle piece. So I was getting ahead of myself there, looking at the second piece. Grab another box. Tiger says instead of a hole, use U-shaped slot. It may come in handy sliding the lens holders in and out. Tiger, do you mean over the actual camera piece? Use a U-shaped slot. And what exactly do you mean by U-shape there? Or did you mean on the base and to put the lenses, to store the lenses under it? Let's see here. Zoom back in. This is going to be, let's see, this was what, 100 millimeters? Yep. We'll go 90 millimeters because that's the width of the phone. Oh no, still want to go 100. Line these guys up. And this is only going to come up. Let's see. On the design, that came up at an angle, but I don't actually, on the drawing rather, it came up at an angle. I don't think I actually want to come at an angle, but I want the top piece to be able to angle how it needs to. But let's come up to 40 for now. And we're here in the shapes. Hey, a dinosaur skeleton. Cool. The shapes I want to find. There's a maybe it's one of the generators. Yeah. Now, this threading is 12 millimeters diameter. That seems a little large to me because that would put it right about there. That's not so bad, actually. It's a pretty good size for the screw piece to go through. Wonder, let's see, pull this back out and take a look at it. Rotate. Come on. Rotate. There we go. And I think, no. I thought with these shape generators, oh, I have to open the panel again. The shape generator, I can actually tell it how many, yeah, the diameter, the pitch, the segments, the rotation, tip scale, tip segment, all that good stuff. So let me move it over here and flip around to the side. Zoom in here. Kind of crazy. Here, go to top right. There we go. Sit on it. So I need to make the hole here for the screw, and then make the screw itself. So this is going to come up here, and let me center this with this guy in the middle. Okay. So now with this generator, let's see. Okay, yeah, that's actually changing the diameter. I'm gonna leave that at 12. Pitch at 15, that's fine as far as I know. I mean, I'm sure these defaults are pretty good. Tip scale, what does that do? Oh, that's scaling down the actual tip of the threads. Thread scale. Oh, okay. It's making them wider or thinner. So if I need to make a bunch of these, I thought this would allow me to just extend the piece and it would make a bunch of them. But it does not appear to be the way. I think if I just pull this out, now it's just skewed the threads. I haven't messed with these generators too much. See if there's another one here. Best states, China. Stairs. All kinds of text stuff, pie charts. Oh yeah, look at that. It just keeps going pages and pages of stuff. Gears. Butterflies, mustaches. Mustache generator. Hearts, capsules, donut slices. Twisted polygons, drills. Cups and pipes, rings. All kinds of fun stuff in here. But looks like this may be the only red generator. Oh, wait. Screw threads. Let's see. Go to the last page just to make sure. Terrain, asteroids, rocks. New banana. Interesting. Uh, Jeffrey says make the bolt longer, then change the pitch. Yeah, I thought that the generator actually had more settings for that because it's not just going to be pitch, right? Because if I adjust the pitch, oh, maybe I can't adjust the pitch. I think my window's frozen. Still here? Nope. Come on. Oh, it seems my Tinkercad window is unresponsive. Yes, just wait a minute. See if I open it in another tab. If the model's there, I'll just close the first window. We'll see. Well, yep, okay, so I'll just close the first window. All right, so Jeffrey recommends just making it longer and messing with the pitch. We'll give it a try and see. Let's see. Adjust the pitch here. It's doing crazy stuff. Undo that, go back to 15. All right, so let's just make it longer. Or, let's see, yeah, I'll go to, let's see, 130 millimeters. And center it with this guy. Center it there, and I don't want to move that one. So I think there's a certain order. Shift click on them. This one, yep, come on. There we go. And bring this one down. All right, so it's gonna go about there, but let me bring it up here first. And let's see if we change the pitch. That's the wrong direction. Let's see, changing the pitch is actually adjusting the width as well. Add more segments, nope. Ah, rotations, that's what it is. Okay, so I'm actually just going to delete that guy. Pull this one out again. And rotations. Yeah, there we go. I guess that makes sense because it's more rotations of the threads. Center there and to the top. Tiger asks, does the middle need to be threaded? It seems like a smooth center thread on the ends. That's a good question. Because it does only need to be tightened on the ends, and if it's smooth in the center, it'll just slip right in, just like that's the green one. Just like the filament spool holders, right? It's got threads on both ends, and it slides onto the center there where there's no threading because why do you need it? As that tightens on, you lock it into place. That's a great idea. Which means I don't even have to have threaded holes in the base either. It's just on either ends. So all that mess, don't even need it. And now, oh, I have two shapes selected. But now I know, messing with the threading, the number of rotations makes it longer. So I could go 200 and it's going to go, nope, 20 is the maximum. Okay, that's okay. So really, I don't need 20 either. I can do 10. And rotate around here. Tiger says if it's going to swivel up and down, the pushback will also go. Yeah, the pushback will make it also go left and right. Um, yeah, that makes sense. Um, I don't think it has to be extremely precise though, right? Because I mean, it's just kind of setting this at a good angle, however it's going to lay, and then whatever I'm looking at, is also moving into where it needs to be. So it just has to be, get it in a rough right place. Let's see here. So I don't need threads through the hole. Hole can be smooth. Back to the basic shapes. Get a cylindrical hole. And if the threads are at 12, oops, hole at 12. Oh, Tiger's saying if it was threaded in the middle. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying when the pieces come together how, it's going to adjust a little bit. But yeah, you're right. As it would rotate, it would have to follow the threading is what you were talking about. Yeah. So definitely the smooth center. My mouse has a well, I can't show you my wires. Now my mouse is dead. But my mouse has a trackball, and it has this like the scroll wheel is around it, so I bump it every once in a while. So I'll be in here looking at something in Tinkercad, and all of a sudden I'm like zoomed out or zoomed way in because I bump it. Let's see here. Oops, yep, too far. Okay, so I'm gonna line this hole up, center here, go to the top for now, drop down. Let's see, I want to put the ruler on this face. Nope, not that face. How did I do that before? Oh, it's work plane, not ruler. That's why, yeah. Work plane to this face. Put the ruler here. I want this to be down to how big are these? How big does the hinge need to be? Because right now, turn you back on. The cylinder is 12 millimeters. So how much plastic needs to be above it and on the sides so that there's enough plastic there to hold it in place when this is printed? Come down. Whoops. That was not the number I meant to be editing. Let's see. Scroll wheels get me again. The put over. See if I can line that up. Where is 0? 0 is at the bottom. Let's see. Hey, Jed. Jed is asking 5 millimeters. Would that be a good enough thickness around the hole? Sounds good to me. This is at 0 right now. Oops, if I go -5. That looks, I don't know. I'm not well versed in hinge design or hinge theory, I guess. So that looks like it might be okay. Go with that. You can always change it, right? That's the beauty of this. Let me just reset the work plane. Grab this hole, pull it all the way through, and oops, this one and this one, and group them. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Come around onto the left side. That would be all right. Okay. So actually need to cut out a couple of spots here too. Jet ass Stonehenge? Um, no, not Stonehenge. Let's see. So if grab some other box holes here, line them up, center together, and to the top. Come on, to the top. There we go. And so let's see. The width of this was 100. It's gonna be 5 segments. Do you guys think it would make a difference if this hinge has 3 on the bottom and 2 on the top? Or should it be 2 on the bottom, 3 on the top? Any ideas, preferences, thoughts? Initially, I'm thinking 3 on the bottom. Just because the top piece doesn't have to be as wide. So it could be maximum width at the bottom of the 2 pieces, and then actually go thinner to just go up the center of the device to get to the camera. Oops. Yeah. Apparently there's a AT&T contacts app that wants me to sync. Unfortunately, I don't think that actually works. Or fortunately, I don't know. Tiger says 2 on top, 3 on bottom. Jed says depends on how much stress. Hey man, this is a stress-free zone. No stress here. So we know this is 100 across. This is a divide that by 5. It's 20. Want to take this guy. Actually going to a little bit taller and a little bit wider. Which one is the width? This one. Let's go like 30. It doesn't really matter. Just need it to line up so that it actually erases the. Come on, this guy. There we go. So it actually removes the plastic. And here. So that's all the way on the edge. That one is going to that. I don't want to cut out that hole, but I want to duplicate the piece, Tiger says he changed his mind. The top has to be the outside against the nuts when it's tightened. Ah, yes, that makes sense. So it has to be 3 on top because when it tightens, it's going to squeeze it together, so it's going to hold those. If they were the ones in the middle, when it squeezes together, it could still be loose because really it's the pressure's on the outside, right? Makes sense. So I will leave this one here. Let's see. Paste. Oops. I may have just made too many copies of something. Let's see. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Grab the hole here. Copy paste. This one into align with this guy. And this end. Yep, come on. You can do it. Right there. And one right in the middle. Copy. Grab this guy. Come on. Stop that. It's over here. This one and this one. And line to the center. Right. That's going to look okay. This piece and the 3 holes. Merge them together. Get the bottom piece. All right. Now I am going to round the top edges here, of course, because if it was, square to square, it wouldn't move, and I don't want there to be a really big gap in between. So I think I'm going to round the edges on that. But first, come on, what do I have selected? This one. I'm going to duplicate that piece. Line it back up with the other one. Put it up. And rotate 180 degrees. Whoops. Try that again. Rotate 180 degrees. Thank you. And now I'm going to ungroup it. So give the original square back. And copy and paste that. Zoom in on this guy. I want this one to just line up. So it's pretty good. And I'm actually going to make it a little bit wider. Just a little bit, but here in a second. I'll do the next one. Copy paste. Whoa, too far. It's over here. Yeah. So since the snap grid is on, that makes it really easy to move things around with the arrow keys. And it just sort of snaps into place, which is nice. And I could adjust that to different increments if I wanted. I'm going to delete this hole and this hole. And this one, I'm going to adjust the here to 24. I put on the outside. Let's see. Tiger says if you left it unflipped, you could have used the cut holes into top piece. Left it unflipped. Oh, I see. That might actually be easier to make sure it lines up. So let me just delete that. Try again. Back up. Over here, please. Thank you. All right, grab one of them. To here. So if I made another copy of this one and turned it into a whole, yeah, I would make that piece. So this one, no, stop. What am I doing? So this one I'm actually going to ungroup, remove those. Now I'm going to flip it 180 degrees. That makes sense. Tiger's a pretty smart fella. He knows what's going on. Take that around that way. The whole should line up well. All right. So I'm going to make a copy of this one on the bottom. And again, line it back up with itself, or with the other self. Source piece. Select only one of them. Change it to a whole. Oops. Let's change it to a whole. Like this one. Group it. And let's see if that did it. There's the arrow. Nice. Oh, well. That's okay. You can fix that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see now. By that. That's interesting. That when these two grouped, even though there's a hole in both of them. Oh, okay. It's hollow through the center. But there are still some faces here. That is because you can see inside here how the faces are so close together that there's like some visual artifacts there. Some you see kind of grayish, and some has the you can see the solid red. So I want to group this again too. So I'm not going to do this hole yet. I'm just going to do these two first. Then this one, I want to like 12.5. 12.5. I'll recenter them. Yeah. Now group it. There we go. This drops down. Nice. With a gap all the way through there for the cylinder. Cool. Okay. So now though, it needs to round the edges so that it can, so the hinge, so the square pieces can actually move, right? Pardon me, I'm gonna get a drink. So let's see. There. Whoops. My little lamp here has a touch sensor for the brightness, and I just have a napkin sitting on the base of it, and it when I set the drink down, it caused it to dim there. Uh, Ken says, "How is the hinge going to have enough clearance to turn? Sorry, I've covered earlier. Just jumped in, but seems like the square. Blah blah blah." And apparently that was about 45 seconds ago when I had just said it, because then he says, "Well, there you go." um, Hey Ken, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Jody came in earlier. He figured out that there's about a 45-second delay here. So that was fortuitous, I guess, of you to ask at that point as I was explaining it as it came through onto YouTube. So let's see. There are some. I had a set of hole shapes. Just kind of a funny thing to say. Hey, do you have any hole shapes? I have a set of hole shapes somewhere. Might still be in one of these. All these funky names. Let's see. Hole shapes. Holes. Hole angles. Nope. I did. Oh, wait, maybe. Let's see. 2 years ago. Why do I have to copy it? I don't know. But I'll do it. Oh, because it was in the older version of Tinkercad. So I had to convert the file. I think this file has a bunch of different whole stuff going on here. Yeah. That's good stuff. So, let's see. I wonder if I can copy here and paste in the other one. Oh, that worked. That was surprising. That's cool. Let's see, Ken or Tiger or John, if you guys had ever try and copy and paste between Tinkercad windows like that before. I never had. Didn't know that would work. Let's see, rotate this around. And rotate this around. Okay. Let's see, this one. 20 by 20 by 20, which happens to be the same size as the actual square I have here. Just kind of, whoa, off into the distance it goes. Try and line it up and see what I can do. I can always make it wider because it's not really going to matter, right? Because there's just holes there. But I don't want it to remove too much. Let's see. Too many or something. I also want it to be smooth at the top, not come to a point, right? Because if I did something like this, come on, stop moving stuff. Actually, let me lock the base down. See this 180 degrees. So if I just pull this in to about, come on, if I just pull this into about the same spot, that's actually going to make a point at the top, which is not ideal, right. Um, because that's gonna hit up here. But take both of these and come down just a little bit. Ah, no. Take both of these. Come on, grab the little piece. The little arrow. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Pull this down. Is that going to be a problem? I don't really know what difference it makes. The point was up there, the point was down here, right? Feel like I would like that old smoother. Let's see. Duplicate this one again. And there it is. Rotate like 33 degrees. What I wanted. Come on, undo, undo. I'm having a hard time grabbing these drag handles up in here. Let's see, let's go to 45. Come on, get the arrow. There you go. Up. A little more. It's not perfect, but is it good enough? The holes. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that a sufficient rounding? Or maybe, ungroup that. Maybe I don't even need those two. Just do that one. Still too sharp. Yeah, let's see. Tiger says, make your hole with a tube half to the top. Then it'll be rounded. That's a great idea. I'm telling you, Tiger's got all the best shortcuts. I tend to think too hard about things sometimes. Let's see here. Oh. To rotate this 90 degrees. Still 20 by 20. Probably 22. 22. Grab this guy, move him over here. Zoom out, zoom out. Come closer. Align these together. Yep. Here. And up here. And box hole. See, Tiger says I didn't explain right. I think you did. Because if I do this, and have a half cylinder. So he says, get a cube, cylinder as a hole, then take the new combo and use the hole where you want around. I think that's what I'm doing here, right? Combine these two, and then turn it into a hole, and slide it over the pieces, right? And I can extend that, line this back up. I just moved it here. And here. This guy. Let's see. It's like 30. Yeah, which was super long, but that's okay. Ship that over here. Ah, come on, grab the little arrow. I hate that little arrow. Up, up, up. And like right there. Now, put it back in a solid. Come on. Group it for a sec. Need to make the wall thickness. Oh no, that's the inside wall, not the outside. If I adjust the radius, but it keeps the wall thickness. So let's see. That's okay. I can add another piece to the sides. It doesn't all have to happen in a single action, right? That. Turn that into a hole. Have this one. Group that. Yeah. Do that group. And I want to duplicate that. Nope, don't move yet. To rotate 180 degrees. And align. It's this one. Not that guy. Come on. Select. Yep, this guy first, then this guy. Then align. Seems weird. Yeah, I'm gonna delete the extra nubs afterwards. Get the alignment stuff to work out for me. There we go. Okay. Whew. Got it. And to the center. Got it. That is too close. But I can bring that down. That way there's still plenty of stuff going on there on the sides. Grab those, group it, take a look. Grab this, that. I gotta get rid of these little nubs, as Ken called them. Let's see. Just, yeah, I think a roof will be good for that. Ah, the roof is so far away. Just delete the roof. Crazy roof. Here. What's happening? Ah, hate that arrow. Okay, there we go. Move the arrow up. All right, so I'm going to rotate this guy around, turn him into a hole, get rid of those extra pieces on the hinges, and then we'll see what it looks like. Ken says nubs and copyright and restricted, so I don't know. It might demonetize the video now that I've said that. Not that I'm actually monetizing the video. Let's go over here, move you up. This way. Some more. I'm just using the arrow keys to move it around here. See if I can get that little piece covered without touching anything else. Tiger says, good luck, pillow time. Have a good night, Tiger. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, that's going to cover that. Ken, no, I can't just click them and delete them because they're a part of the grouped model, right? So when I try to click on it, it highlights the whole bottom piece. So I'm actually going to have to hide it. Tinkercad is kind of crazy like that. There's a few things in Tinkercad that I don't necessarily like. Another thing, originally you couldn't extrude a face. I think there is a maybe a shape generator or something for that now. I think I saw something in here about extrusion. But yeah, whenever there's just pieces floating off, there's still a piece of the whole. WHOLE, right? Let's see. I saw something in here about extrusion on one of the later tabs here. That was always one big thing I disliked about Tinkercad was you couldn't just extrude a face. I had used another program called Wings 3D, and it has some cool stuff in there where you just like start off with a sphere and then you can extrude off some faces and make some really cool organic looking stuff or some neat spaceships or whatever. Um, I swear I saw something that said extrude in here somewhere. Anyway, I'm getting all off task here. So back over here. Making a hole to cover the nubs. Hashtag cover the nubs. Don't say that. Okay. Come back over here. Zoom out. Where are we at? 20. Let's go. 100. Actually, I'm going to go 120. Alright, that'll cover that one. Quick and easy duplicate. Whoops. What was that? Duplicate. Over here. And the handle. Rotate 180 degrees. And let's get that back over here. Make sure it. Yep, I don't want to see any red showing. Looks good. I'm actually going to group those. turn them into a hole. And before I group that, I'm going to make another copy and flip it over to cover the other ones. Ken says goodnight. Um, I don't know if he's saying goodnight because he's leaving or if he's saying goodnight to Tiger. Duplicate that. And these back up. Oh, man. Got this guy again. And rotate him 180 degrees. And if I can find that little arrow that hates me. Ken says he's taking off. Have a good one, Ken. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Catch you later, man. Right about there. Oops, too far. Yeah, I need to come down a bit. Yeah. Cool. So I'm going to grab this piece and this piece, group them together. This piece and this piece, group them together. That was a pain, but we've got the hinge pieces. All right. So if this piece comes back down, see how tight of a fit is that going to be? That's pretty tight. Now I'd mentioned before that I had made the gaps a little bit wider here in the middle. I don't know if 1 millimeter was enough. I think it's going to be a pretty tight fit there. Let's see, let me get these holes lined up first because if the holes don't line up, or the center of the hole might line up, but I still may have the curve on the square. I don't think so. It shouldn't because of the way the hole, uh, the edge was cut. See, that hole shouldn't be lined up yet. Move around the other side. Got the threads in the way there. I couldn't see it. There's a little arrow. He's down here. Okay, up to there. So that would be lined up. There's a little bit of gap in the bottom, which is good. There's not much clearance on the sides, though. I'm not sure if that's actually touching or if there's a gap. Looks like it's touching. So that may actually be too close for that to fit. But that's okay. I can always sand down the edge a little bit with a little bit of sandpaper, smooth it out to make a little looser fit. I'd rather it start too tight, and then I can work it out a little bit to make it looser instead of it starting out too loose, because then I can't like add more plastic to it. Now I could tighten the screw down some, but I don't know. At some point, that's going to cause plastics to start to break. So let's see. Let's get back up. See how that works. It might not be perfect, but it'll be something. So now I need a cylinder to go through with the screw threads on the sides, and some basically wing nuts, right? So let's do this guy. Hide that. Thank you. Take this 90 degrees. Line these two up. Together. Yeah. Make my window bigger. Oh, there we go. Yep, right there. See, this was a diameter of 12, right? Yes, a diameter of 12. And the hole through the middle is a diameter of 12. So for this, what to do? I don't think I want to make it exactly 12 because then it's going to be, it might not actually fit in there. If I do 11, that's a 1 millimeter. Oops, what happened there? Oh, I was typing in the box about the sides and stuff. No. Type over here. If I do this as 11, that was the height. Come on. Line these back up. So that's half a millimeter gap on each side, which I think that should be about what the thread length was, I think. Maybe. I don't know how to tell the actual length of the thread from the cylinder the thread's coming off of. The diameter, was it pitch? It's at 15 right now. Is that gonna, no, that was yeah, crazy stuff. What happened? Come on, bring it back. I thought that was at 15. Here, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Yeah. Oh, it's 1.5, not 15. That makes sense. 1.5. Yeah, so I think 11's going to be fine. Let's see. This. We're 100 across. You have the screw ends on the ends and want it to pull in. So I'm going to go 95. It's up here. Up. Zoom in on there. I see there's still a couple of viewers on here live. If you have any questions, comments, critiques, feel free to let me know. I take all of that stuff. See, that's not quite. There's still a little bit of a gap here. Let me see if I change this to 10. Let's see how that lines up. Might be better. That looks pretty good, I think. Still not quite perfect, but all right. what I'll do for the nuts, they'll be threaded, but also it can extend a little onto the hinge shaft here or whatever. So it'll, it can keep rotating it and it'll still go a little further. So that will still push it together. That'll be okay. We'll give it a shot. Like I said, I've got a lot of filament, all kinds of colors over on the shelf over there. I know you can't see it, but it is. It's all over there on the shelf. Um, so I don't mind using up some of it. If there's a mistake, it's okay. That's how you learn. It's from your mistakes. Yep. There's that little arrow that hates me. Come on. Put you at 0. No, actually, that was, how tall was that? 16.13. So I will go to minus 16 on the end there. Grab all 3 of them together. Come on. 3 of them together. That. Now that's actually not going to work though, because this has to push through. Come on, add the little arrow. I just want to rotate you. There we go. The threads actually have to be smaller than the smooth piece because it's going to have to shove all the way through all of the hinge pieces here. So that's not going to work because those are bigger than the hole. But I can ungroup those. This guy and grab this guy. And what that need to be? I did 10. Um, that would fit, but I've got to do both sides. That would fit. Would that be fine? 10 millimeters. It's not very big, but that would still work because I have to go through, tighten that up. Yeah, that's big enough. It has to be big enough to grip the actual nuts. I don't want like little tiny pieces I'm fumbling with or whatever. So that might be all right. Center everything again. Now, since they're smaller now, the nuts aren't going to push onto the center shaft, so I need to make that a little bit not as long. This was 100. Actually, that might work. Let's see. Those 3 together. And we're just here in 3D space. I can move stuff around. Take this guy back down. And this guy. Let's see, I want to lock these 2 in place for a moment. And actually, I'm going to change this one's color. Not this one. this one. I'm going to change this guy's color to yellow. So you can really see the difference there too, right? And now let me see if I can get this guy lined up. Should be able to. Here. Nope. This one. This one. Align. The center. Okay. Let's get up a little bit. So this slides right through. Change the work plane here. Grab this guy now. Little arrow that hates me. He is. Slide right through. Threads do pass in. Through there like that. I think that's going to be okay. Nice. Set the work plane again. So, unlock base piece and the bottom hinge piece. Combine the two of those. So I like to use different colors for different pieces so I can see like this is going to print, this is going to print, this is going to print. In the end, it won't be these colors I pick here, right? It's going to be whatever color filament I have. Okay, so that's good. And this guy will just rotate around as we need. So we need to work out some details on him now. So back to the original design paper here. We adjusted how the base starts, right? So it goes up at a 90-degree angle, and the hinge is closer to the bottom. The hinge you tighten and loosen. We've got the pin going through. I still got to make the nuts, and then for the rest of the top piece here, that's what's red. To finish working out the rest of that there. So let's see. I am going to. I'm going to ungroup this for a second and make a copy of that threading so I don't lose it. Away. Everything else here in the middle is locked. Just drag to select and shift select those guys so they're deselected. Now I've got the three pin pieces again. Group those again. Excuse me while I get a drink. So I'm going to make the wing nuts here. There may actually be a generator for that. I wasn't looking for that as I was scrolling through, but I can make my own. Might be a generator for it. Let's look in the generators first. I wish there was a search feature here. Gears, snowflakes, mustache again. Drill, two-point cylinders, slice cylinders, double trapezoid, solderless crux, vent pipe, a lozenge. Should not eat anything that comes off of a 3D printer made of plastic. I have seen food 3D printers. You can make pancakes or chocolate or whatever, but somebody says, "Hey, have this lozenge." Now you know. Maybe you just got that from Tinkercad 3D printed in this plastic, and you're trying to kill me. Let's see. Arrowheads. Oh, parabolic reflector. I made a few of those before without having a generator to do it with. Um, yeah, I'm not seeing one. All right, well that's fine. I can make my own basic wing nut. So this is the threading that I actually want a negative of. Turn here 90 degrees. Zoom in here. And this is also the same length that this is. The ends of the pin are 16.13 millimeters. So here on the calipers, if I go to 16.3, meters, whoops, too far. Right, right, come on, right. Yep, okay. That's the green one. Where's the black one? So 16.3 millimeters. That's a little bit more than what the filament spool holder has showing of the threads. Not sure if you can see that. That's not too much, right? It's only just about that much, about 16. So in the case of the filament holder, the nuts are actually 7.8 millimeters thick. And I think that's a kind of a squished side. Yeah, it's 8 millimeters thick. So I can do the same thing, 8 millimeter um, thick wing nut. So let's see, let's start with I'm going to start with a sphere actually. And these two up. I feel like I'm always trying to align things. So again, this is just going to be a hole to get down to it. Should go all the way through. Well, okay. First, I want to cut the cylinder in half, or the sphere in half. Grab a box hole. Here. This guy. Group them. Now, bring this one down. Group it. Whoops. I just ungrouped the original. Oh, nope. Did it take it? No, it's not grouped. Group it. All right. And now I'm just going to add some wings. Let's see. What would make a nice wing? I could take another sphere and squish it, attach it to the side, but I also want this to print nicely. Oh, there was a half sphere. I could use the half sphere instead of the sphere and then cutting it in half. um, let's see, how many do a cylinder? Come on. Box. Two. Find the box with the cylinder. And I'm going to make the box a little bit wider. The box with the cylinder again. Always aligning stuff. Be the center. Or close to it. Other box. Come on, line up. So close. Come down about. Yeah, go ahead and come down. Center. Go down one more. Come on, go. And this is too long. 20 needs to be like 5. And that's probably too big. 2 millimeters. And if I group these three right now, this little quarter of a coin. See how this works out. There. Oops. Go to the edge. Come on, go to the edge. Well, not the inside edge. Not inside the hole. Nope. It's not bad. It's really good either, though. Let's see, squish you down on up there. Pull it out a little more. And what if I rotate it 180 degrees? That seems a little more correct. Pull this up there. Yeah. That's looking more like what I expect. That's cool. And just do it on the other side, and then got a wing nut. Wonder how well that will print. It should be fine. It's at enough of an angle, I think, that it won't need any supports on that. Here. Rotate it. It's too far. And I'm going to try and judge it from the bottom. See if I can grab all three of them. Focus. But right now, these two are at the same height, but the width isn't quite right. Or the distance quite right. I'm going to bring them down just a little bit so they're poking out of the bottom. So I can get it lined up. Oh, actually, that might be about the same. Okay. Back up. See, it looks like there might be a little bit of an artifact there. I don't want it to push through. See, I'm going to switch the grid to 1/4 of a millimeter. Grab those two. Slide up another unit. And nice and smooth on the bottom. There's no brown through the threads there. So group it. Did it group? Oh, I just grouped the wings without the nut. Probably group that. There we go. I like the blue better. Visual purposes. So nice. Take this 90 degrees. And that will just nicely right there. Two. Centers. Ah, come on. Oh, it's not gonna let me. Can't always get this to. Oh, this one? Yeah, there we go. Okay. This guy over. So that'll screw onto the threads. And I have to print 2 of those, one for each end. Yeah. That'll work. Nicely. Okay. Yeah. Screw that. Okay. So I've got the base, the pin, threads, the wing nut, and the secondary piece here. So I need to do the little shelf. Center piece that's going to come up. And then the piece for the lens to actually attach over the camera hole, or the camera's lens, but on the uh, upper piece of the stand, it'll just be a hole. Whoops. And the lens went down somewhere. Yeah, fell behind my computer. I'll pick that back up later. Okay, so this piece, let's see, I want to lock down nut, pin locked. Nope, I don't like the pin. Base is locked. That's upper piece. Unlock that to work on this now. So let's see. I want to add the shelf next. And I think I'm going to. Base thickness was 5 millimeters, I believe. So I'm going to do the same there. This is 100 millimeters across. A little bit shy of that. I'm going to go 90. And always aligning stuff. Yep. Nope. Come on. Or not aligning stuff. Don't want the top piece to move. There we go. This one. And the alignment makes it pretty easy to get stuff together when it works right. Come on, grab the little square. Yeah, there we go. So the one measurement I didn't take on this phone was the thickness, which comes to, make sure I'm not grabbing the curve. Yeah, 10 millimeters. So 10 millimeters. This one is 20. Actually going to go 15. I was on the wrong edge. Right, 15 millimeters. That gives a little extra space. And I'm just going to duplicate that piece. Line it up with this one. Rotate it 90. Yep. And line it again. There. Down here. Oops. Get it? There. Yep. Okay. So there's still some, still a gap here. This was 15 originally. There's a little overlap. But I needed 10 millimeters, so this is probably like 13-ish. So it's a little notch there. Now let's see, how tall was this? 15 millimeters, but it's 5 millimeters thick, so it's 10 millimeters tall above the, whoops, reset. Meters tall. Right about there. So that means when it sits in, it's got about that much at the bottom. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Want to make sure you don't make the front of that shelf too tall, but also don't make it too short because then it won't actually hold the phone in place. Join those three together. Right. You need to make a hole in the bottom for the charging cable. So it's just a, whoops, USB mini. I'm not sure the size of that. I'm not gonna look it up. I can measure it. All right here. So let's see here. Gap for this particular wire. 11 millimeters wide and 7 millimeters, I guess, long, deep, whatever. This direction doesn't matter. Show it out again, make sure I got that right. Measure twice, cut once, measure twice, does 3D print once? I don't know. Let's see, so what was that? That was 7. And that was 11. Right, okay. Pull out here. And 11 this way. Nope, sorry. Yeah, that's right. And 7 this way. Now it's actually a little bit bigger than the wire here. I rounded up to the nearest millimeter. Actually, probably just go ahead and make it 12 and 8. I go to wiggle room. And it's over here, just like this piece. Going to the alignment again. See, go. Yep. Put that over there. Oh no, undo. Alignment stuff. So weird sometimes. This one. Yep. That way. Okay. And shift this guy back. Nice little gap. That. Now I've got a charging hole. And since it'll be tilted back a little bit, it'll be up, so the hole will be here, so it'll be easier to access, not like just directly below it. It's going to go at an angle. Okay. Next piece, and do the center square to get up to the camera. That. Come on, deselect. Oh, okay. That had frozen up again. Here, here. Right, and let's make this. See, I wanted a third of it, right? So 30. And again. And now the distance from the base to the center of the camera was 124.6 millimeters. So I need to go from here up. Start off with this down here where the base would be. And it's just a little bit thinner. So the height on this needs to be, let's see, the center of the camera, 124.6. So if I go up to yeah, 140, that should be enough. Let's see which one's the height here. This one? 40? Right. So actually, I'm gonna start this off 26. And I'm going to put a cylinder here. What is the diameter of these lenses? Get on there. That's 24 millimeters. And the camera's lens is 18 and a quarter meters. It's 24. Center of that, 24 minus 9 plus 24. It's late. Slow with the math. So let's see here. 24.6 minus 18.25 divided by 2. Plus 24. 139 below, so 140. Okay, so the top of the cylinder, or of the lens connector piece needs to be at 140. So what does that mean? This is at one. Yeah, I didn't finish. Didn't finish the math I needed. So this is at 124.6. Actually, clear that. 40 minus 124.6. 15.4. Why did I do that? It's getting late. I'm having a little trouble keeping stuff straight in my head. This piece comes up. Right now, its current location is the center of the camera lens. Camera lens is 18.25 millimeters diameter. If I take half of that, that's the bottom of the lens. Subtract it from 124. It's bottom of the lens. But the difference between 24 and 18 to make this line up center to center, yes, that's what I'm trying to find. So this is 24, that's 18.25. So we've got 124.6. And we want to subtract half. Oops, back up. Come on. Thank you. 124.6 subtract 18.25 divided by 2. And then we want to add 12. It's 127. Which is where the center of the lens will need to be. Is that right? I don't know. I think it's too late. It's 11:30. I've been going for 2.5 hours here. I thought I'd go about 2 hours. I'm gonna have to come back and finish lining up the lens connector piece. But pretty good progress here. The bottom done, the pin, the wing nut, and good beginnings on the base piece that'll move. Something else I thought of with benefit, maybe benefit, of having the thinner piece here, it may be easier to hold it while tightening and loosening instead of a wider piece. Because this phone's pretty wide, so if it was that wide, I mean, it's not too wide, but a third of that would be easier to grip and maneuver. Um, okay, so I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks to Tiger and Ken and Wesley and Jed and Jeffrey, everybody that came by this evening. There's let's see, I've got some work to do tomorrow with the website that a previous episode discussing migrating .NET website to a mix of .NET and WordPress. Got to get some work done on that tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be streaming there. I'm going to. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to set a schedule. Thursday nights, starting 9 p.m. Central Time, will be my official streaming schedule. If that's 9 to 10, if it's 9 to 11, and 9 to 11:30, 9 to 1, who knows what might happen. Um, that's going to be the schedule. So I know last week I did like stream 4 or 5 times, just figuring out the technology and all that kind of stuff. But this is working out, I think. I'm actually able to focus more. You guys are helping me, not just with design, but also staying focused and not like getting sucked into some YouTube black hole of I don't know, European power metal or conspiracy theories and aliens or whatever. As the that happens, those spirals. Um, but this was fun. Uh, Starting from concept, hitting some paper, throwing together a 3D model. If I don't finish this up sometime this weekend, I'll definitely pick it back up next Thursday. If I do finish it up sometime this weekend, then I'll do a video putting it together and testing it out. Maybe next Thursday. Probably next Thursday. Otherwise, I'm not sure what the topic will be for next Thursday. I have a uh, list of topics I'm working on, some different things I want to do, and breaking those down. Some website stuff, more of the gaming stuff. I need to work more on the levels for the bunny game that I was showing in episode 1. Um, and then the whole big push we're doing with the side business with a bunch of new um, artwork and redoing a bunch of the literature and doing a new website and all that. So who knows what may get made next on Jeremy Makes Stuff. I have a design and a first prototype for a standing desk um, that I would like to work on in one episode. The prototype I actually have at work. I've got it together. I haven't finished it, like sealed the wood and painted it, and it's working pretty nicely. I do want to build a second one with some little thicker plywood in some of the areas, so to be a little more sturdy. But maybe we'll do an episode about that. Um, Take it down to the garage with all the saws and wood and everything. Um, so we'll see. Yeah. So I guess thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, please give me a like, subscribe, leave some comments. Um, do you like the design we're working on here? Do you not? Do you think the whole thing is kind of goofy? Do you think it's great? Um, let me know what you think. You're not gonna hurt my feelings if you don't like it. Not gonna hurt my feelings if you do like it either. So there's that. So I guess I'll sign off here and have a good night.